3, 2.
Farts. Old farts. Two old farts. Steve and Dave. Sometimes you find a diamond in the rough. Not this time, though. This is just rough. Two old farts. There is no better waste of time. Two guys. Two old guys. A lot of BS and more drivel than you can shake a stick at. Steve and Dave. God help us.
You got to love that intro. That's all I can tell you. So whoever did that is very talented.
I wonder. I just tweaked it a bit today. But anyway, enough of the two old farts, because one of the great things about the two old farts show itself, like the rapper or whatever we're going to call it, is that we've got other contributors to the show.
Thank God.
And yeah, indeed. So, and today
we have Miss Wilde.
We have Miss Wilde, and she's doing
Wilde About
Art.
There she is. Let's do a better shot of her. There she is. Look at that. And today, you know what's really cool? It's the holiday season. It's what's today? What show goes out today? The 22nd, and the pagan holiday comes on Sunday, where everyone celebrates like the wrong thing. I love it. It's just great for all the Gentiles out there.
But I've been telling people a lot lately, and people don't like to hear it. But was yesterday, so happy Saturnalia, all that.
Happy Hanukkah to all the landsmen and landswomen out there. Happy Hanukkah. Glad you're hopefully lighting your candles and not burning down the house. Ooh, like that song. Anyway, we have the Happy Hanukkah. Kwanzaa is somewhere. I don't know where it is. And for all you Gentiles that like the pagan holiday with the make-believe talking donkey, then congratulations, your holidays is right around the corner, and we hope you have a happy and healthy, safe
talking donkey. That is a classic.
It's Shrek. He's talking about Shrek. Don't worry.
Yeah, isn't Shrek part of Christmas? No, it's not part of Christmas. Oh, okay. Sure. So Miss Wilde,
child's Christmas.
It's part of mine, and I'm Jewish. So Miss Wilde, we have a special guest today. We have a guest that I've heard because some lady wrote her a letter that said she is a gift from the gods. I'm not sure what god she's referring to, so we're going to get into that because there's so many.
There's so many.
What did you like to say about the guests before we bring them on?
So we are bringing on Kahne Smith. She is a pastel artist who is a signature member of the Pastel Society of America, and also a juried member of the Degas Pastel Society.
Ooh, little French there.
Has many more acclimates. I think
accolades.
Accolades.
Really? Wow. 2 more glasses of wine, you'll be fine. So, I'm sure your parents are very proud of you that you can speak English. So.
Words are hard. And so you guys make me wake up way too early. And she is also just an incredible person all around, very interesting woman, and I can't wait to show you her work.
Cool, and thank you for being so about it. That was awesome. You were the best. So, whatever. And there she is. There is Miss Smith. There you go. Hello, Miss Smith. Nice to meet you.
Nice
to meet
you. Nice.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, whatever time it is on the other side of the pond.
So, well, it's morning here in Texas, where everyone's in Texas, David.
You're on the other side of the pond, Dave. We're on this side.
The right side.
I'm on the right side of the pond.
Let's fight.
Well,
to be honest, that's right. For you people in Asia, this doesn't pertain to you. Anyway, so Miss listen, we already kicked Britain's ass in the 1700s. Let's not even get into that. Now,
Miss Smith, anyway.
Yeah, that's true. Nobody wants this country. Miss Smith is a Southern belle. She told me that as we were speaking before everybody came on. She's a Southern belle. So we're going to get into that. She's also apparently a gift. She's a gift from the gods. We're going to figure out what god that is because there's a whole slew of them.
And she gifted the world me because she's my mom.
And she's her mom.
I've already bought your Christmas presents. It's not going to help. Really.
Okay.
Yeah.
So-
I mean, are we revealing this now to the rest of the world that she's your mum, Tash, or what do we do? Well,
Well, most people already know, so.
oh, okay.
all 12,
Okay.
all 12 of our global fans.
Well,
now know
I've
who's
just found
interested.
out, so that you know, that's two near heart attacks I'm having already. One
There
is
you
that
go.
America.
You got your
One is that
pacemaker.
America doesn't love us, and the other is it's your mum.
Very
So
nice. Wait, but she's a very accomplished artist. We have like real art. You're like a real artist. We have real artists on, but you're like a real Southern Belle artist, which you've
Oh,
never
thank
had a
you.
Southern Belle
She's like
artist.
a real career artist. She's been doing it for like decades.
40 years.
Yeah.
Wow. And you don't look a day over 30. So congratulations on that.
I'm not
Your
getting
daughter
presents
on
for
your
you
hand.
either, though.
You
really.
what? I'm sorry. I'm not getting
presents for you either. Yeah, sorry.
Well, that was the show, folks. Hope you enjoyed it. Good luck with the holidays. No, I'm just kidding. So, no, you look great. And your daughter, we've known her now for a while. She's an absolute delight. We have to make sure her mom sent me a check to say nice things.
Depending on
Absolute delight. Love her. She's great. Needs to get married. I think we've covered it now. So let's look at. Tell us about you, how you got started, what's coming up for you, and I think we have some art as well to be able to show people.
Okay, well, gosh, ages ago, started a company, and then I had kids. And
Right.
When they went off to school, then I would hang out, and I would say, maybe I should, I don't know, write a children's book, which I never did. But I did a lot of drawings, and I loved it. And I used pastel because I'm a real mess, and you can just not have to clean this up at all. So you leave it out, and you can get up at 3 a.m, paint, walk away. Anyway, that's why I chose it, and then I really loved it. And then I got to to the point where I could just travel around to workshops. Like I went to Woodstock and studied with a lady up there, which was really cool because it was my first one, and I wound up staying with a lady that was actually a witch, and she had bones in her living room and things like that. So It was an interesting workshop, but. But then I traveled around to a lot of other places, did a lot of other workshops. And as the kids grew, I realized I didn't want to write any freaking children's books. I just wanted to paint. And it keeps me more or less sane, more or less.
Very nice. We'll get back to the witch at some point, but we don't want to piss them off because those Wiccans and bones and stuff, like that's a whole thing.
Yeah.
She was
luckily she's on your.
She's
luckily on your side of the pond.
Thanks, David.
So,
You're the
yeah.
best.
Well, you had to rub it in. I thought, if you've got all this cursing going on, let it be an American. That's all I can say. Anyway, look, I had an opportunity to just do a few things in the way of art. I try not to prepare too much, and I've made a selection just of 4 things today because they were the things that I looked on the website. There's some fabulous stuff. Over 100 or something things were on there. But 4 things that jumped out to me, and I'd like to share that with everybody, and also like to get Miss Smith's feedback on that as well. This first one, which really sort of, I don't know. It's they say it's really, really easy to draw and paint clouds, but this one looks like a storm I've always been in. Have a look at this. It's called Open Country.
Very pretty.
That actually won an award at the Degas Society. So.
Oh, well, I have wonderful taste then, it was saying. Yeah, I could see those rolling. It's like almost as if I'm standing there and it's going to roll over me and soak me.
Yeah,
so,
big sky, big clouds, big. I like the plains. That just really calls to me. So and I really love storms. I just love it. I had a friend one time, and she said she was afraid the lightning would blow in on her, but I said I'm really not.
It's that powerful.
Yeah, so
that is beautiful. So now let me ask this, because we're here to promote you as well. So if they go to your website, is this for sale, or because I know I won an award, but is this for sale or has this already been sold?
It actually is for sale. I keep a couple, in my home, and that one's framed and ready to lock and load.
Very nice. And may we discuss what the price is for the 12 global listeners that may want it?
That's about $2,100.
Okay. Yeah. So anybody would like this, which won an award, so it's got provenance already. There you go. It's $2,100.
And what size is that? If all framed up?
I'm gonna say 24 by 36. It's not.
Okay.
It's really hard to work huge with pastel because it has to be under glass, so it makes it heavy.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay.
That's beautiful.
I've just got these 4 because they were the ones that touched me today for various different reasons.
That's what touched you today? Okay, just checking.
This did, yeah. But mind you, it was after I took the tablets. But there you go.
Okay.
But let me just take this one out. The other one, of course, reminded me very much of where I'm currently living, and this one's called Low Country.
Very pretty.
Yeah. Where are you living?
I'm living in the Netherlands, and we see almost I take a daily walk, and that reminded me very much of that, And I was just really, again, those skies, I see them regularly, and the way that they're reflected in the water, and it was a very 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 tranquil. Like I say that it touched me, that one this morning. So what's the history? What's the history behind that?
Pardon? The
What's
story
the history behind this? Yes.
The story behind that, I should say.
I started out just, I was kind of a compilation. A lot of things are not references that I do on site. That one was, because I did go to the Low Country. I went to the Carolinas, and I started with the sky because I'm just, I like the atmospheric effect, and then I just came forward with it. But I actually was standing like almost in the water, which is, where the viewer enters the picture too. So,
yeah, like I say, it's very much because it was called Low Country, and that's where I'm living currently, and it's very typical of that as well. Okay, now, and as the story says, now for something completely different. Another one again that touched me this morning. I was trying to dominate
he's a lot of little with touching. I'm a little worried about this. We should talk to your nurse, David. I think there's too much touching.
That's the thing. You see, the thing is, as you know, Stephen, I have trouble painting a wall. So
I'm with you there, pal.
So it's really wonderful. And like I said, the thing I like about art is that it does actually touch me. It's like really good music. It almost like sticks its hand down into my soul. And
oh, I thought you were going to say something else.
Oh no, the references are getting scary here.
Yeah, well, just me and art. Anyway, so as I said, in which case this particular title is very appropriate.
What's this next one? Oh, that's pretty.
Oh wow,
Deja vu.
Oh.
Yeah.
And the thing that I liked most about this again was the way that the light was trying to get through the gaps. Probably they looks very much like as if they're autumn trees. I look out from my little room at the top of the house here, across into a wood, and that's very much what I see at this time of year. Low winter sun, and it just trying to, almost to fight its way through to say, hey, I'm here, and splashed at the front a little bit of sunlight. Deja vu, strange name.
You nailed it. It is really about the light. And it's coming through again, right? It's fighting its way through. And I love winter trees. Wyeth said he loves winter because it shows you the bones of the land and what lies beneath. So it's really has a fascination for me too. But so it was like it's coming through the back, it's coming to the front, it's deja vu.
Huh.
And I'm assuming this one is for sale as well.
Actually, that one is in a private collection in Denver.
Oh, excuse us.
I'm sorry because I jumped too quick. Then the Low Country, the one that we saw before this, is that still available if anybody wants to buy it? Or
yes, it is. It is.
Okay. Did that win any award by any chance, like the first one?
I never entered that. It was an earlier work, and I was still doubting myself. When you create in a vacuum, and you're like, oh, it's all shit. It's all shit. I don't know why I paint. Why do I bother? And so I framed it and just kept it. But, yes, I would sell it.
Very nice.
Well,
okay.
On your website, which is CahneStudio.com, that's KAHNE studio.com, you can purchase these works, right?
Yeah, I don't have them priced. Galleries don't like for you to price your work. They want to pretend that they're the only ones selling. But yes, we do sell privately.
And
Just-
if you can't
just get
figure
in
out
touch.
how to get to Miss Smith's website, you can just contact us here at Two Old Farts, and we can, put everybody in touch with each other to help you be able to purchase art from her. Do you do
Yeah.
commission pieces? If somebody wants you to paint something or pastel something, if someone says, I'm looking for X, do you do that, or is that a pain in the tuchus?
It is a pain. It takes twice
Okay.
as long. And if somebody has a dog or a child, I'm like, yeah, move on down the road. Can't do it. If they have a house,
Right.
it's kind of the same thing. But I'll promise. Like I actually have a friend in the UK. I've been promising him I would paint his house for the last 20 years, and he finally moved. And I said, "Good, I don't have to." So probably the answer is no.
Okay, gotcha,
Yeah,
gotcha.
I have the same thing. I've been promising to paint the house as well for years. But
Somehow I think this is two different paint jobs that we're discussing here,
okay,
but that's very
okay,
cool.
okay,
So,
okay.
Yeah.
all right, and so David, you have a fourth piece that you like.
Yeah,
of Miss Smith's.
a fourth one indeed. Again, yeah, I don't know but the very first one with like the rolling storm coming in. Yeah, I mean, I do miss. I mean, I've lived here for what 35 odd years, but I miss the fact that it's there's hardly any movement in the landscape here. It's all very, very flat. And when you go to the north of Holland, it gets very, very flat as well. But for some reason or another, just the choices that I made have all reminded me of places in Holland. And so this is the last one. And,
Very pretty. Looks like a beach.
It is.
Yeah.
That was
Look at me. I know art.
Bimini.
Okay.
That just won an award at the International Association of Pastel Societies. It's where all the pastel societies in the world come together in one place.
Right.
And it was because of the perspective and
Yeah.
the design and the composition, where lately I've been just trying to leave the support, leave the paper, and let that be one value, and then put my story on top of it, kind of.
Yeah, because
So
I've walked across there. That's in front of me. That was the thing, my first impression. And we have very much this sort of almost scrub places along the Dutch coast, because it's very, very flat, so it gets eaten up quite regularly. And they're always putting new sand in to try and save it all, and putting all this scrub in it as well to try and hold the sand together. And when I saw it this morning, I must compliment myself that I have wonderful taste in art. It would seem I should be on an art show. But you
picked two arts that have an award. So this one was the International Pastel. So what did it actually win then with that award? What was the prize?
That was just an honorable mention. It is just, to get in. There's thousands and thousands of entries, and they take a couple of hundred. So, just getting in is kind of like, wow, cool, I got it.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So now this one I'm taking is for sale or in a private collection now?
No, this one is for sale, but it's pretty small. It's sort of like, I don't know, 13 by 17. That one, maybe 1,200.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very
Can you
nice.
tell us a little bit about your process and your evolution of your process over the years? Because I know, watching you as I grew up, I saw your style change quite a bit, and the one that Dave just showed was quite a departure from your original works. And I know that you use a process that's kind of slightly different to most pastel artists. So maybe you can go into that a little bit.
That is true. I learned from my mentor, Richard McKinley, and he taught me that you underpaint with oil or you underpaint with watercolor, and you make just large shapes, and then you let that peek through, and it gives you something to respond to, so you're just not overwhelmed by a piece of white canvas until you say, oh my God, what do I do here? Right? You're like, more this, and then you let some of that stay, and it's what you let remain that kind of pulls through. It's just fun. Sometimes I wake up and I'm like, wow, that's really nice shit. How did that happen? I don't even know. But yeah.
And I think that's the best way, right? It's like kind of unplanned.
Yeah, and usually that's with the glass of Chardonnay. I don't know. But
well, now I know. Now we know where your daughter gets it from. So, but that's nice.
You do. I mean, you kind of spit these out pretty quickly, don't you? Like I've seen you do like three paintings in a day, like, which is, I think, just incredible volume. And sometimes you work on something for months, or even years.
It's, when I'm on a roll, and it depends really. I have this theory that there's all these ideas out there up here, and that they're waiting to be born into this world. So you just reach up and grab one, and then you're like, oh, this is what this idea is. This is what is supposed to be being born. So, I don't really think that, gee whiz, I made this. It's kind of like it came through me, and sometimes it's no good. Sometimes it's, and other times it's that wow experience. And so when I do 3 paintings in a day, it's I'm on it, and I'm just in that flow. And all artists live for that moment, because it's not always there. You can go months and go, wow, this is a dry well. I'm just going to do something else.
Yeah, I was talking to my friend the other day, or yesterday, actually last night, about the creative process and how, like, their partner didn't understand that they couldn't just, like, turn it on whenever they had the time to do it. So it was like, you can, like, okay, cool, I've got this blocked off as, like, my time to be creative. But the creativity doesn't necessarily work that way. It's like you have to be in the flow state and have that divine come through you, and that is not necessarily something, especially if you're stressed out and you can't let your mind relax, like, it's not something that you can just, like, dive into without the right, I guess, circumstances.
Yeah, if you there's an artist that I love. She's an author, but to me an artist as well. And Elizabeth Gilbert, she wrote Eat, Pray, Love, but she also did a TED Talk where she talked about how these ideas really want to come in this world, and that they'll chase you down. So if they're not wanting to come in, if you're not, like, there in front of your easel, they really can't find you. So you need to be there. You have to have sucky days.
You spoke about a mentor. Is that somebody that you go to regularly? What is in the dry moments of creativity, or?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's I've done about 15, 16 workshops with him. He's really a master.
Does it are these one-on-one workshops, or are there with more people?
He'll probably take 12 people in.
Yeah.
But we've done some one-on-one things, and he just, there's some people that just turn on the light bulb, and he's one. He's a teacher, and he's a master, and I really, really admire him a lot.
Yeah. And in the workshops, do you find that it's that being around other creative people also helps to stimulate you?
Yeah, you're in your tribe. You're, like, with other people that, it could be, an 18-year-old or an 80-year-old. It does not matter. We're all from all walks, nothing in common socially, but the one thing that we do have is the ability to bring art into the world. So when we gather, it's like, that's really all that's important. Nothing else matters. And yeah, it is inspirational from that point of view. And do you look at other people's canvases and say, yeah, I'm dating, or no, I'm not? Or usually my experience is, I don't know why I'm here. I'm not good enough. But that's just a self-doubt kind of a thing. And I think all artists sort of have that.
Everyone has the imposter syndrome, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, sometimes I'll look at my art and I go, who did that? Oh, well, that was me.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, is that because you've forgotten that you've done it, or?
No, it's
because what I mean by that, I wasn't meant to be funny, but what I meant by that is that you put something down, or it's been in a drawer for a while, and then you pick it up and think, oh wow, that's pretty good. Oh wow, I did that.
I have a pile that Natasha gives me unending grief about of what I think are unfinished, not good enough paintings, and yeah, sometimes I pick them up and go, why in fact did I consign that to the trash heap? I don't know. But,
yeah, I just think you're moody, and it's like you get your moods, and then you're just like, oh, I don't like you today, and it's kind of like it's like the people you want to hang out with. Like maybe you don't want to hang out with that painting today or whatever. Yeah. But now that we're talking about what's in the pile, so her studio is really cool, and the way she's got everything organized is really cool. So, Mom, would you mind, like, showing the viewers exactly how, you know, you have everything set up, like all your pastels, and show us some of the things you're working on and all that good
Well, I
stuff.
sent some photos because I'm really not sure how to do that. I mean,
Pick up the laptop and walk around with it.
Turn the laptop. I don't know. Is there?
Yeah,
Is there
I did see the photographs come today, and I didn't have time because I prepped this morning. I didn't have time to do them. We will add them to your profile so everybody will have a chance to see everything you sent through today.
But to answer your question, yes, you could turn the laptop around and show everybody stuff if you would like.
Yeah, there's a camera, so you just point the camera at the thing you want to show.
Okay. Well, I didn't know if I could do that with the camera. Okay. All right.
That's how that works.
Okay. So let's see here. First, I will walk you into the big. Oh my God, I love it room.
Oh my God.
It's got a great big chest filled with probably $10,000.
You can see the printer. There you go. That's it. Yeah.
Okay.
I've actually photographed this because it's so cool.
And then I also have a wall of oils that I hang in an organized fashion because you have to have it. I've got all of my little workshop things labeled so that I know what the heck is in these drawers. And then this is the pile of what I don't think is good enough that Tasha gives me shit about. Oh no.
And basically anybody that would buy one of those would be thrilled to have them, I bet.
Thank you. But I'd never let them go.
Okay.
And
that's why your daughter gives you shit about that. So
she does, but she gives me shit about everything. So
okay.
I mean, that's what I was born to do.
All right. So this is just flat files, right? They're just like a whole thing filled with more paintings that I didn't think were good enough, and also quite awkward to be showing. But anyway,
I must admit, you are the most organized artist studio I've ever seen.
Right?
Yes.
Really? That's very, it's very uncommon to see this kind of organization.
And just basically, okay.
I like the bar in the back. Is that part of the art studio? Because that's where I would hang out.
The bar and a pool table, right?
Well, you got to have those two things.
Art is on.
Right. Which, so when Natasha was little, I used to have her pose, and then that was when I was going to do children.
Oh my gosh, those are your early stuff. That's all
they are.
Really early stuff.
That was 40 years ago. That was Tasha.
Oh my gosh! Wow, that was the children's book. That was the children's book you wrote about the cat.
Right, and that was the cat.
Oh, those are cute.
Yeah,
I like the donkeys. Those are very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she does paint animals, but she just doesn't like to, I guess. But you do. I think if there was a commission, I would be more like, I grew up in the Southern Carolinas, and I miss it. So Connie, can you go paint that area?
Well, if you're gonna pay for my trip, I'll take the commission.
Right, exactly. You have to pay for the trip, and then you fly her out there, and then she'll set up her pastels and paint a scene that you love.
Yeah, I do plein air. I go out with all my things. I actually took off for 6 weeks, and I pulled a trailer and my cat, and I took off to go
with
to
the cat.
Pardon?
Yep. With the cat.
Me and my cat.
In the trailer.
Left everybody else. And just pulled my trailer. Went to Colorado, Montana, Wyoming, Glacier National Park. I was going to go to Alaska, but the cat was tired. She was like, I'm done. I brought him home. Yeah.
That's very cool.
It was fun.
No, I mean, just the whole thing. I mean, it's very neat. It's nice to see, we interview lots of artists, and they'll take us into their studios, and it literally looks like a 5-year-old just went through it. And we're like, oh, you're busy. And you're like, no, this is how it looks every day. And then this is very organized and neat, and, everything's in its spot. So everybody's got a different process, I guess. And,
I didn't used to be. But then when I started taking lessons and workshops and getting to know Richard, I first saw his video and I was like, I freaking hate this guy. He is so organized. I could never be that man. Obviously I can't be that man, but I can't be organized. And I thought, and the more I watched the video, I thought, I really, really love what he can do. I love the fact that he can just reach out, grab the right color for the light on the mountain because he knows where it is. And I thought, maybe I should. So I did.
And it's showing in your work. Your work is absolutely gorgeous, and it's winning awards apparently all over the world.
Yeah, currently I'm crossing fingers because the Salmagundi Club in New York is the oldest art club in America. It was established in the 1800s. Winston Churchill was a member, Andrew Wyeth, and they just invited me to become a member. I was like,
wow, that's like
some paintings. I'm waiting to see whether I get it, but I think so.
That is very cool. See, if you become, then we have to do a whole show on that. So that's very, very cool.
Oh, I'll be doing the
Congratulations.
Snoopy dance for sure. That's big.
Well, we're going to want that on video for the fans. So they're going to want to see the Snoopy dance. But that's very cool. Congratulations on that. Just being asked to be a member, I think, is that's I guess if you're an actor, that's like at least getting the nod for an Academy Award.
It honestly is. It's like, wow, I'm the flipping Velveteen Rabbit. I'm real. You know?
Wow, that's awesome. So now when you win this award or you get part of that society, does that then take your artwork to another level where and I'm not like it's 1,200 to 2,100 right now, but then when you get that, does that make you now go to like a 5,000 to 10,000 range, or is it just cool that your peers have recognized you?
Oh no, it definitely adds some dollar signs to the paintings. But you know, honestly, for me, it's more about, wow, somebody liked my painting enough to buy it. Well, that's really cool. You know, and because I still have that soul. What did you call it? The doubting syndrome. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, imposter syndrome.
It's really hard to have that to support that syndrome when you have the credentials like the PSA accepting me. Unbelievable. It was like a bucket list for the last 40 years. I was amazed. Oh, wow. So happy. You know, and then one notch up. So
So this next one it puts you in a different light or realm of people. Like they're going to be like, I know you, and people are like, oh, you know her, like type of thing. It's like, you've won.
That should happen anyway, but yes, absolutely.
Well, I agree. That's true. I mean, people should just, because now we're going to get into this because you just brought that up, and we're going to go back to this other word. So you're a gift from the gods. Who said this, and what was the contents of the letter that this was said? Because,
a wonderful lady. I sent a painting it was at a museum show in California. And and she said, I walked through this in her letter. She said, I walked through the show 3 times and I kept coming back to your painting and I couldn't leave it. It was called America. And she said, I just loved it and I bought it and I just consider you a gift from the gods. And thank you so much. It was like, how cool is that? So I came downstairs. I said, George, from now on, I want you to say Connie, gift from the gods, my full name. Here's your coffee in bed, but always use my full name, right?
I agree.
Yeah.
And just so you know, for the intro now on the YouTube blurb that we are going to put Connie in parentheses, gift from the gods, Smith. So that now when we talk to your daughter, who I know you still want to find a husband or a wife for her, and we'll discuss that later. We're going to say, how is the gift from the gods? So she'll know that we're just talking about you for now on. So
I like it.
I like it too. And now we should get a t-shirt made and we should get baseball caps and everything. So now when you win this award or you get the society that's asked you to join, which is an honor, and you submitted and they say you're now here, will you be then Connie, gift from the gods, Smith, XYZ society? Is it going to just make your name longer? And now your poor husband, George, is going to be like, oh my God. So
he's like that anyway, but
okay.
Yeah. No, honestly, it could be a really long name and I'm good with it.
Yeah. Okay. So next time she's on, David, we're just going to have one whole screen of just her because her name is going to be so long. It's going to take up, You're just going to have it scroll on the bottom. She won't even be able to type it in. So we've never had a gift from a god before. So this to us is very exciting,
Well, I'm really down with that. I appreciate this. Thank you for the accolades.
Yeah, sure.
I just have to say that the best thing, my best creation ever is Natasha.
Oh, stop it! That's so corny.
Wait! Before we leave that, don't you have you said?
I do have one. Yeah.
Okay. So out of the siblings, you're saying, and David and I will have to probably talk about this off air. So out of both siblings, this is what you're the most proud of the siblings. This sibling.
I love them both equally, but this one is more like me. She's trouble.
Okay. And she's female. So
and
sure.
yes, and her sister is more like her dad, you know. So I love them both, but this one is me, you know.
All
I
right.
feel like we're both mishmashed with both of you, but I definitely like you were my role model growing up, and I always like thought that you were just such an interesting. You weren't like other moms, you know. You were just like, you know, you're an artist. You're like a wild card. You were just like definitely not at the PTA meetings, but definitely like, but probably in like some amazing place, like a foreign country or something, like traveling, doing business while doing art. You know, all of that. So
I used to pay the neighbor to go to the PTA meetings for me.
She did. She hired my neighbor, our
That's
neighbor,
awesome.
to like be my stand-in school mom
They
because
That's awesome.
I didn't care for
she
them
was
either.
like, I don't know how to do this. I can't sew costumes for your choir. So like,
That's
you know.
awesome. So I'm going to take it that this show of yours, The Wilde About Art, this is going to be one of the most watched episodes because I'm assuming you're going to re-show this to your sister every chance you get. This little blurb about where mom loves me more than she loves you, and I'm sure now this will get like 12 million views just from you. And so forth. So basically, what you're saying is, when you were growing up, your mom was a spook, worked for the CIA, traveled the world as a pretend artist, became a real artist, and now she's retired and she's an artist. Is that pretty much the story we're going to go with?
That's a new story.
And she's a gift from the gods.
Right.
Yeah, right.
There you go. I can't forget that one. So now, when will we learn the gift from the gods? When will we learn that you have been accepted into this very prestigious Pastel Society?
It takes them 3 months to look
Really?
at 10 images. And I
Okay.
guess I don't know what they do for 3 months, but they run it through all the members, and you know, it's just you just have to be good enough for all those people, and then you get to be in this membership society with just a few people.
Wow.
Yeah, 3 months.
Very, very cool. So when do you think you'll hear about it?
March.
Okay. So if you get in, and you can come back anyway, but if you get in, we would love for you to come back, because just the reaction of that will be very cool.
Yeah.
I'm sure the society is going to be like, why are you doing this show with these crazy people who don't do it? But but we would love for you to have it. Hopefully they don't watch the video, right? But I know that would be awesome, because that's very from everything. Like I said, your whole bio, you're one of the very few bios that I read, because David said you have to read this. And when I read it, I was just every other a member of this, a founding member of that, it was like everything was like wow. Very impressive. So we are very grateful and thank you. You're like our holiday gift for the show. So it's very nice. Yeah, so as for your daughter, we love you. You know that.
We're proud to have her on the show as well. We're looking forward now to season 2. We're going to do a lot more stuff with Miss World, and hopefully a lot more with her artists.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, actually, you have one more show this year, so you're still season 1, and in January starts season 2.
Season 2, yeah.
And mom, then when you're at the holiday table with your mom and your sibling, you can go, hey, have you seen show 73 with Two Old Farts? Let me play this for you. And then, every family gathering, you can continue to play that show where mom said what she said.
Just the clip. Yeah.
Just the clip, right? We're just going to put that clip out for you so you could play it for everybody. So, but no, this was awesome. You were truly a delight. We love your personality. Please come back. Whether you win this or get into this society or not, we'd love to see more of your work. And maybe next time you can show us, if you're up to it, the work that you think isn't good enough, that your daughter thinks is. It'd be interesting just to see those as well.
Okay.
Yeah, because that. I mean, just all the animal stuff, the cat stuff, and so put that on t-shirts, sweatshirts. People just love it.
Okay.
But
I want to like show my favorite ones and see how they compare.
Okay.
I have like my favorite pieces too. I think she's done like really. I mean, obviously you can only pick like a few of them, but seriously, people go to her website. It's just, the vast amount of art that's up there, and all of the settings are just, they're so different, and she captures each one so beautifully. The way that she does, I feel like it's so kind of funny when I have a few of her pieces at my house, and people will be like, wow, that looks so like real life. And I'm like so confused by that, because like it like the way she paints is not, it's like kind of almost impressionist, like not quite, but like kind of. And but I think the reason people feel that way about it is because it is a feeling. Like, you can feel the setting from the way that she paints. And it's like you're there. And that's what makes it feel so realistic. It's not necessarily like how it looks visually. It's like that you can almost,
how it makes you feel.
You're there. Yeah, it's like you're transported. And I think that is really the point of, I feel like that kind of differentiates, like, there's different types of art. And like, I feel like the original reason, or like the original like art, I guess, I don't know, this is gonna be a really long discussion, but is the kind that really makes you kind of feel like something came through that artist. Like, you're talking about the divine coming through you and like into your body and like out into the work that you don't even really sometimes remember fully painting, you know, versus like the modern, like contemporary art, like a lot of it's very like, it's like political, there's discussions around it, like it's done for a reason, like there's like a message behind it. There's not exactly a message behind your paintings. It's just the message is, look outside, it's beautiful, and this is where we get to live, you know, and this is how I feel when I'm there. So to me, that's like the purest form of art, and I think Connie, you capture that really well, really nicely, and inspires
so.
on a daily basis.
I do.
Yeah.
And let's have, when we do come back, let's discuss that more. But with that beautiful, basically ending, let's not ruin it. Let's just say thank you so much for being here. That was absolutely gorgeous how you gave accolades to your mom. Your work is lovely. Good luck on getting into the new society. And that's our show, guys. And we thank you so much for both being here. And we'll stay with us and we'll do some stuff after.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Cheers. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Merry Christmas.
What are you doing? Oh, right. David's playing music. This is very exciting.
I'm like pantomime.
I know, right? I think we're going to end the recording now, David.